Thought for the day. Listening is an art that requires attention over talent, spirit over ego, and others over self.
Welcome to 7 Minutes for Yourself. I'm Christina Aina, and I'm so glad you've joined me for what I believe will be 7 of the most enriching minutes of your day. Let's take this time to reconnect with ourselves and improve our well-being.
In today's episode of 7 Minutes for Yourself, we're discussing how to become a better listener to deepen relationships at home and at work. Have a listen.
The first step to active listening is to stop talking. You need to allow and give the other person the space and the time to talk. Now, I understand that sometimes this is difficult. If you are really excited about something or you have some great news to tell someone, you might want to be the one who does the talking because you have this fantastic news to share. So I understand that sometimes it's hard for you to not talk and to let the other person do the talking. But it really is the first step to active listening. I mean, how is the other person supposed to talk to you if you are the one who is doing all the talking? If you're taking up all the talking space, how are they supposed to have any chance to talk to you? So you really need to give the other person the space to talk. Now, the reason this is so important in business relationships and why it helps to build strong business relationships is when you give someone the space to talk, it helps them to feel important and appreciated. This is something that all of us want to feel. We all want to feel important. We all want to feel appreciated. And if you do this to your conversation partner, to your coworker in the office, they will love you. They will walk away from that interaction feeling like you really listened to them, like you made them feel important, you made them feel appreciated as well. Whereas if you interrupt them when they start talking to you and you interrupt them, you cut them off, the only thing they're going to feel for you is resentment. They're going to feel like you aren't interested in what they have to say, like you don't care, that they aren't important to you. And this isn't going to help create a positive relationship with that person. So if that's your priority, if creating a positive working relationship with someone is your priority, then you need to make sure that you stop talking and you let them talk. Number 2, genuinely focus on that person. This is an incredibly important part of listening and active listening as well. I mean, how many times have you been in a conversation with someone and you found your mind starting to wander? You were thinking of things you need to do, of emails you need to respond to, of deadlines you need to meet, of all these other things in your life that are going on at that time, but you weren't focusing on that one person who was talking to you. Have you ever felt like this? Have you ever been in a situation where this has happened? I would probably say yes. The reason this is bad for listening and does not show active listening is because your focus is not on that person. Your focus is on all of the other things that are going on in your life at that time. So you need to eliminate this mind chatter, eliminate negative self-talk, if that's what it is, eliminate all of the things that are going through your mind and eliminate that so you can focus and give yourself the headspace to focus on that person. If this is something you have difficulty with in your conversations, then a tip I have for you is to try to identify that person's eye color. Look at them in the eye, have good eye contact with them as they are talking. Try to identify their eye color. This will definitely make you look focused and make you look like you're really listening to them. If you want tips on how to have good eye contact, because this is something I have covered in my video about leader body language, I will link to that on the screen and you can jump to that once you finish watching this video. Number 3 is to listen to understand. So once you have given the other person the space to talk, once you have focused on that person, the next thing you need to do is to listen to understand. And there is absolutely a difference between listening to hear and listening to understand. And this is a mistake that a lot of people do make when it comes to listening. They simply listen to hear or to appear that they're hearing, but they don't listen to understand. And this is a conscious effort and a conscious shift that you really need to make. You often see this when you are in a conversation with somebody and their eyes start to glaze over. They're with you and they might be looking at you, but you know they're not 100% focused on what you're saying. They're not 100% with you in the conversation. This is the difference between listening to hear and listening to understand. And when you're on the receiving end of this, it definitely doesn't make you feel like you're important, like you're appreciated, like the other person cares about what you're telling them. And it definitely doesn't help you have active listening. This is an important shift that you need to make in your communication. Just like getting rid of your mind chatter, you need to be able to really listen to understand what that person is saying. You need to be present in that conversation. You need to be with that person.
That concludes today's episode of 7 Minutes for Yourself. Please take a moment to rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts. Today and every day with your kiddo is a gift. Enjoy it. Thanks for tuning in.